round of applause, please. All right, let's go to the first question right here.
I asked my readers, your fans, some questions that I'm going to ask you now. Two questions. What was it like over in Brazil, and how does it feel to be loved all over the world?
I know, it's very hard. It was really great, right? That was amazing. It was amazing to like just, that's where Stephanie wrote the honeymoon, and to go to actually, and she actually has been, but we went in search of what she wrote as our lesson. We found it, it was very cool. We would take a camera road trip to work with it. That was great. We got stranded. What else?
It was nice being able to shoot on natural streets and seeing people. To see that within the context of this movie is definitely jarring in a great way. Very good.
Yeah.
About the world. I'm just going to look at it. Being up the world, it's nice. It's different. I'm sorry. But in shooting in Brazil, I don't even know what I'm talking. Shooting in Brazil, it's interesting. One of the interesting things about having an international fan base, every single country has totally different reactions. So you went from the movie down there. I mean, shooting on the street in Brazil, compared to, people kind of sneak a picture or something, and shooting in the States, or Canada, like in Brazil, people would literally just kind of grab you. And so it's just kind of pretty fun on the set. In the shot, yeah.
And you were there kind of Taylor, because it was eerie. There was an extra that looked exactly like this.
So weird.
It was so weird.
I was not there. I do have to know that I was not there. But they came back and they showed me this picture. Well, they told me first that there was an extra that looked just like him. They showed me this picture and I even thought it would be able to wear this thing. So, didn't you guys have to place him further back? You guys the camera.
Oh, you kept pushing over him?
That's the thing, it's exactly like this.
Yeah.
He looks like an eclipse poster.
Totally rewriting the story. They go in their honeymoon and very well.
That was so hilarious. The camera just is going over, you guys are walking through, and I'm just standing there like this, just watching you guys. There it is.
Next question's right here.
Do you think the Break of Dawn movies will truly be the end of the Twilight saga, or do you think there'll be some sort of spin-off or continuation in the movies somehow?
Breakfast time.
Cereal box?
Breakfast brunch. I don't know, it's not Stephanie, really.
Yes, I second that.
Yeah, breakfast.
I think she always said it's the end of the Bella. It's the end of the Bella Edwards story. I think, but I mean, especially in the second movie, there's so many new characters that I'm sure. I'm not sure, but I suspect she'll want to really say something.
You sound like you have some secret knowledge. I was conveniently not mentioning it.
I have a question for the actors. What was the most, out of all the Twilight films, what was the most secretive scene that you had to film? And also, what was the scene that you had to film that you felt was probably the most exposed to fans?
The wedding was definitely, it was like Secret Service style, insane. I mean, the crew was completely inconvenienced and just, rumbling around the set like,
No cell phone.
yeah. You don't understand what this means because thank you so much for this dress. It's on the internet all the time. But that really was.
And then there's the helicopter, right as we were ready to pick it
I
out.
had a military cloak on because that's all we had to cover up. It was really funny.
Was that probably been Brazil doing it?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, we didn't have to do anything which was like too intimate or anything, but about people around. I mean, or not all we didn't know. People
I don't. I
I
think.
didn't know when you were being like photographed and stuff. That was like a weird experience after the fact. I'm like, oh, the whole scene.
Right. Yeah.
This movie is a lot of the movie takes place like inside. So most of our time spent we were in Baton Rouge filming on stage, and then we had 2 months in Vancouver. But I mean, this breaking down is very like intimate, and I just feel like they did a really good job at allowing us to just, I don't know, be creative and just be able to do each other. We really didn't have to focus on being distracted and anything like that in this movie.
They protected us.
Right there.
Right here. This question's for Kristen. I feel like Breaking Dawn was such an emotional journey for Bella. Honeymoon, wedding, getting pregnant. What was it like filming for Nuts, and how did everything that's happening to Bella kind of affect you personally? Everything. I can't draw a line between myself and especially it's funny, I don't want to make it sound like it's not just about this, but really with everything that I do, it's hard for me to take myself out of it. So I've been building up to these moments for 4 years. I was 17 when I started doing this movie, and this one really is building those really cathartic, impactful, huge life moments, and they're not all completely fantasy. They're really, very rooted in reality that I can completely see myself in. And anyone who reads the book could imagine. And shooting the scenes, I had to kind of let myself realize that these moments will find themselves naturally, and I can't let the book, punch me in the face every morning to wake me up and give me some days. You have to, let the moments happen. And they did, and I tried to, we just really went for it. And a lot of it, I do feel like it's very, very close to the book and really sincere telling of the story, but at the same time, we added like bits that are surprises that surprised me too. In the more iconic bits, like in the wedding and at the honeymoon, and lots of things.
I think the thing is that there's no bigger fan of Twilight than Kristen. It's true, like you are, it's your approach as an actress, the way you describe it, but also it's like she's always there, like, I know what it felt like when I read it the first time. And it's like pushing to make sure she's capturing that feeling into that. It's really, you
I
did
feel like
put that
this
pressure.
is such a self-conscious answer, but like,
Yeah, but it's true, yeah.
I have sort of a nerdy question for both Honda, and I apologize in advance. You were sort of discussing the idea of how this movie might fit into your other work.
Yeah.
We feel like there's a theme running through your films of societal repression and people sort of not being allowed to be themselves. I'm wondering if you feel like that theme comes out in this movie.
I do, it would sound really pretentious to say that, but I do feel like I always look into people who are outsiders and stuff like that, who are learning, and all these characters are able to learn all the time, and both these other two like find a way to like live the lives that they were meant to. I do definitely.
Do you personally have a favorite scene in the movie?
I didn't even know.
Do you have a favorite scene in the
Oh,
movie?
favorite scenes, right? That's a good one. Because I have a lot of them. I know that sounds like
I've always been able to choose one.
we're all
I was going to say, Taylor's going to have a favorite.
right.
No, I'm about ready to let you down. I'm so sorry. I was going to say I've always been able to choose one for every movie, but this one I can't. It's just this. I have there's so much going on in this movie, and all of the characters are dealing with their own little things. It's impossible for me to choose like a favorite scene in this movie, especially. Jacob changes so much from the beginning to the end, so it's hard for me to choose, Sorry.
I'm gonna not say none of our teams together because I don't want to offend you boys. But I'm gonna. There's a scene with me and Charlie at the wedding that I love so much, and also with Renee as well. One after the other. I really love it.
My parents I think the last scene is kind of it's such a movie, and also it's for a fantasy series that has kind of young children. It's quite far. It's quite hardcore. It's quite hard. And I was. Yeah, but there's no way to do it. I mean, if you there's just no way to do it in any kind of tame way. So it was fun. That's fine.
No.
Over there.
Bill, this is you. When you were announcing this project, one of the points you made in the code of your show personally is that you were a big fan of Dark Shadows.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know what you feel that was to you and what you were feeling about the genres in general.
Yeah, I know. It was like as a kid, I would run home to see that show. Obviously, it was all kinds of fantasy creatures, mostly vampires and monsters. There was something. God, I think it's like growing up in a very, intense Catholic household, or something, that makes it a little twisted. But I think it was that. But it's always I've always liked whatever vampire version, whatever new vampires come out. I always been interested as I was with Twilight. Right here.
Do you not, for the actors, do you guys kind of ever wish that this was a small independent film and just ran like on the Sundance Channel or something? Your lives would be very different. How do you tune out the enormous distractions in trying to finish the work?
If this was a tiny little independent movie that only ran on Sundance, then we would not be able to. We would be able to do justice. I mean, maybe the first few. This one is really a big beginning. It's nice to be indulgent. It's nice to shoot for 6 months with an A-lister, and so yeah, sure. We wouldn't be sitting here doing a press conference about it. Maybe we'd be sitting in some cool little snowy lofty places. And there's no. What I'm saying is there's really no difference. We'd be having the same conversation probably. So.
We have the most passionate fans in the world, and I thank them for everything, and we would not be promoting movie number 4 right now if it wasn't for them. They're absolutely everything to us.
I feel like I've kind of seen it all with this. I mean, it feels like they were like that since the first one, and just the fact that it's consistent, and the same people who saw with the first one, who waited out for the first one, still come back, and then additional people come. It's nice. I'm still amazed at the longevity of it.
I can't say that it's it is a shock, but I'm used to that shock because it's always been from day one sort of surprising to see the numbers and just the enthusiasm and passion for what we're into, and it's always weird to see that in mass numbers for something that feels so personal. And it's cool that it's lasted so long. There's always feelings like, oh, well, I mean, 4th year in a row, who knows if people still care. And then you have like the veteran fans that don't want to seem like they're too crazy, and it's like, well, I hope they're still going to be crazy, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that they will be, so.